Signing on for today's lesson. So, the quote for today said, "Do your best to maintain balance. You don't want to end up with a broken toe." So, with a quote like that, you know there's a story. Yeah, there's a story. I'll tell you the story later. So, when I talk about maintaining balance, I am talking about us being better about taking care of ourselves. In an earlier lesson, and I won't say in yesterday's lesson because if somebody didn't see yesterday's lesson, it won't be yesterday's lesson, it'll just be an earlier lesson. Of course, unless they watch it later, then it'll be a later lesson, but they won't even know about it. But anyway, let's just say in another lesson, we talked about taking care of and tending to those things that you've been given, those things that you are given charge of, basically, and doing well and doing right by those things. So today, I want us to talk about, well, I guess it's not us though, it's just me talking and you listening. I want to talk about us taking better care of ourselves. And so many times I encounter people who are stressed out, overworked, anxious, all kinds of things. And in talking to them, I realize it's because their lives are just really totally and completely overloaded. And I think any one of us have probably been guilty of this at some point in time. I know, speaking from personal experience, I have very early in my career experienced burnout, so I know what that feels like. And that whole concept of feeling like you have to do it all. And I know, I think it was Shaka Khan that did the song that Whitney Houston remade, "I'm Every Woman." Well, I'm not every woman, and I don't have to be every woman, and you're not every woman or every man, and you don't have to be. But so many times we live our lives at this fast pace that has us always going. And I hear people talk all the time like, oh, there are just not enough hours in the day. And what I've come to realize is that even if there were more hours in the day, all we would do is fill those hours with more things to do. And no matter if the day was 40 hours long, we'd find something to do for 40 hours and we'd still be saying there are not enough hours in the day. So I want to encourage you to take a look at your life. Is your life overloaded, or do you maintain balance in your life? And by this, I mean, again, taking care of yourself, making sure that you're not overworking, making sure that you are getting enough sleep. That was so weird. I don't know if you're going to experience what I just experienced, but my video just stopped right in the middle. And of course, you know I'm not about to start over. So I don't know where I left off. So I'm just going to repeat what I just said just in case. So I was saying about taking care of yourself, making sure that you are getting enough rest, making sure that you are eating properly, getting enough sleep, all of these things that help us to maintain balance. Because so many times we run, as the old people used to say, rip and run, whatever rip means. I know what run means, but I don't know what rip and run means. Well, I know what rip and run means, but I don't know what rip means by itself. But anyway, making sure that you are taking care of yourself and that you're not overdoing it. And by this, I mean, like, you're up early in the morning, you run constant all day, and then you get home at night and you run well into the evening, and then you fall into the bed exhausted, well past the time you probably should have gone to bed. So you literally have run yourself into the ground, and you're not doing anything to really make sure that you maintain balance. We're all given this, one body, and it's got to last us a lifetime, however long that lifetime might be. And I find the better care I take of my body, the better care my body takes of me. It's just like my Toyota. I tell people, you take care of Toyota, Toyota will take care of you. So if you take care of your body, your mind, your spirit, your body, your mind, and your spirit will also take care of you. And that is really about maintaining balance and maintaining that balance in every area of your life. Now, what's the story? Here's the story. And of course, it was years ago when I was in college. And so, as a freshman, well, I guess I was a fresh woman, but I'm not a fresh woman. As a first year college student, let's just say that, sitting in my dorm room, And now they call them residence halls. Back then they were dorms. And I remember sitting in my dorm room one day, and we used to have this shelving built into the wall. And one day I needed to get something off of the top shelf, and I couldn't reach it. So we used to have these wooden chairs at the desk with like the big arms on the side. And so I pulled the chair up to the desk and I stood on the seat of the chair to reach and grab what I needed. And I couldn't reach it. And so, have you ever done something that in the middle of it, the level of stupidity registers and you know it's just not going to end well? Well, this was one of those times. So I couldn't reach it standing on the seat of the chair, and envision this with me if you can travel back with me in time. So I literally decided to stand on the arms of that chair to give myself a little bit more leverage to reach what I needed. So picture it. I'm standing on the seat of the chair. So imagine even like a chair, something like this. And I lift one foot and place it on the arm of the chair. And then, I lift the other foot. Well, what happens when I lift the other foot? I'm out of balance. And I go flying through the air because all of my weight is on this one arm. I went flying because I was now out of balance, crashed to the floor. Thankfully, miraculously, I didn't lose consciousness, didn't hit my head or anything like that, but I somehow managed to get my foot caught in the arm of the chair, and I think I broke my toe. Now, I never told anybody this story before, so you get to be the first one to hear it. So I lay there for a few minutes, chair on top of me, foot entangled in the handle of the chair, and I'm just stunned. And again, the level of stupidity registers like, did you really just stand on the arm of a chair to reach something on the top shelf? So I lay there for a little while, and then I, sit up and I move the chair, and then I go to stand, and I realize that my toe really, really hurts. And I'm going to myself, I think I just broke my toe. Well, I'm embarrassed because that was a really stupid thing to do. Yeah, really, really stupid thing to do. So I don't tell anybody. I just try my best not to limp. I don't go to the doctor or anything like that. I pray that my toe doesn't fall off or that I don't become, impaired for the rest of my life. And I go on and for the next couple of weeks or so, do my best not to limp when I walk because I think I just broke my toe. All because I got out of balance. Had I stayed in balance, everything would have been fine. And so the same thing happens in life. When our lives are out of balance, we don't take care of ourselves. That may manifest as sickness. It may manifest as a bad attitude. Remember we talked earlier in the series about checking your attitude. It can result in a bad attitude because I'm not resting, I'm not eating properly, I'm not doing all the things that help me to stay in balance. And so make sure that you do your best to stay in balance. Just do a self-check. Ask yourself, am I living a life that's in balance? A life that wherein I'm taking care of my body, I'm taking care of my mind, I'm taking care of my spirit, doing those things that I need to do in order to maintain balance. Because if you don't maintain balance, you might just end up with a broken toe. Your broken toe might not be the physical broken toe that I had, but it will be a symbol of what a broken toe was for me. So keep that in your mind. That's our lesson for today. Do your best to maintain balance. You don't want to end up with a broken toe. That's it. Hashtag words of wisdom. Hashtag life lessons. Hashtag listen and learn. Signing off, and I'm not going to stand on the chair while I do it. See you next time. I think. Okay, I'm having trouble signing off.